Hello and welcome back. In this session, which is a part of a series of 7 most common speaking challenges that people have, and these are specifically designed for people who struggle with their speech. You may be someone who English is something that you're fluent in, it's a language that you're fluent in, but maybe you have an accent, maybe English is your second language, or maybe you know multiple languages, but you find it extremely difficult to communicate smoothly, especially under pressure. This series is also designed for people who stutter or stammer, right? So maybe you stutter or stammer, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just struggle to speak smoothly and communicate as clearly and confidently as you would like. This series is for you, so I want to encourage you to go back and watch the other sessions in this series. Today, we're going to briefly talk about something that's called blocking. And what that simply means is before you're able to get the sound out, that is, you have something that you want to say. You have an intention, you have a question that you want to ask, you have a statement that you want to make. And before you're able to get it out, something happens to your air passage. Something happens right in here, and the air just shuts off. And it may shut off on a particular word or a letter or a sound. And it's what they call blocking, right? Because the air, and therefore the sound, is blocked. This generally doesn't happen all the time, and it doesn't happen in every speaking situation, but it can happen with certain letters, certain words, or certain speaking situations, or it can just be random. It could be anything, right? It can often happen when you're getting started, right? Some people have a problem getting started speaking. Other people can get started, but all of a sudden they struggle while they're speaking. So, how can you address this? Well, there are many, many techniques and strategies and tips and tricks. What I want to share with you, though, is that while some of those may work some of the time, usually none of them work all of the time. Okay? Even the techniques and strategies that we share with you, you're probably going to find that all of them, if you take all of them, right, the whole of all of them are not going to work every single time. So if you pull one out or you pull 2 out and you apply them to every single speaking situation in which you block, you're going to find that they don't always work. Or they work for a while, then they stop, and they work for a while. So what must you do then? Well, part of the strategy has to be that you change your speaking identity and you change your entire style of speaking. So let's talk about what that means for a second. You and I know that there are times where you're speaking and you feel relaxed and you feel confident, and so you speak smoothly. You have no problem with blocking. There are times where you are not thinking about speaking. You're not thinking about getting started. You're not even thinking about speaking, and you speak smoothly, right? So it has very little to do with the words or the letters or the sounds. It has everything to do with how you're feeling in that moment, how you see yourself in the moment, how you see the speaking situation, okay? So if you want to address blocking, there are some things that you can do tactically, but what you really want to do is look at it strategically. And by that, I mean changing your speaking identity, how you see yourself as a speaker. So let's just write that down. We're talking about blocking here, and there is the strategic, right? And then there is the what? There is the tactical. Those are the techniques. And we give you plenty of tactics, that is techniques, that you can use to help you get started, to help you continue speaking smoothly in the Pro 90D Smooth Speech System. So I want to encourage you to enroll in that system if you struggle with this. But we also give you the strategic, the strategy, which is changing the way you see yourself as a speaker. When you start to see yourself as a smooth speaker, as an excellent speaker, as an amazing speaker, as someone who's a confident speaker, when you start to actually see yourself that way, you believe yourself to be that kind of a person, that then drives and it determines and it impacts the way you actually speak physically. It boosts your confidence. It helps you to feel more calm and relaxed in a variety of speaking situations. That drives, that impacts, that affects the way you physically speak. So your belief about yourself as a speaker, the way you identify yourself, your self-image, which impacts your confidence, drives the way you physically speak. This is critically important for you to understand. So it's not just about the tactics, the techniques, the things that you can do in the moment. Remember, it's not just what you do in the moment. It's not just what you do in the moment that counts, but it's what you do in all the moments leading up to that moment. Everything that you do, everything that you think, everything that you watch and listen to and say, right? All of those things accumulate. They count and they impact every moment after that. Okay? So on a strategic level, you want to change your identity. But also on a strategic level, you want to change your style of speaking, the way that you speak. So that's not just a tactic or a technique either. It's changing your speaking rhythm. It's changing how you articulate, how you enunciate, how you pronounce. It's changing the way that you speak, your speaking style. So what Pro 90D does is we help you develop a new, smoother, more rhythmic style of speaking, a style that people will enjoy listening to, a style that will project you as an influencer, as a person that people want to listen to, a person that people will follow. I can't tell you how many of my clients, just had a client yesterday, and she has a health coach. It's a lady she's originally from India, but she lives here in the U.S. And I believe she's a project manager in IT. If she's not a project manager, she's something like that, because she has to do meetings and she has to explain things, and she has team members and so forth. And she was just telling me that when she was meeting with her other coach that she meets with once a month, this coach said, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that your speech has gotten so much better. It's so smooth." And this was unsolicited, right? This lady didn't even know that she is working in and with the Pro 90D speech system. She unsolicited, she gave her this compliment that was unsolicited. So she said, "So how's my speech?" The lady just noticed right off the bat, "Wow, your speech has gotten really good." I have other clients who have told me that now people solicit them for advice. They ask advice from them. People have gotten better jobs. They have now more of an impact. They're more persuasive. They're more influential in their workplace because they're speaking more smoothly, because they've changed the way that they speak. They've changed their speaking style. So what Pro 90D does is it helps you develop a smoother, more fluent, more rhythmic, more pleasant sounding speaking style. And you get that inside the system and or with the coaching. So I want to strongly encourage you that if you've been struggling with your speech, if you've been holding yourself back from taking on certain jobs or certain positions, certain opportunities, it's all because of your speech. There is something that you can do about it, no matter how severe it is, or no matter how long you've been struggling with it, or no matter what other programs you've tried, no matter what you've tried in the past. This system can help you transform your speech and therefore transform your entire life. So I want to encourage you to get inside the system, take advantage of our program and our system to help you take your life, your career, your relationships to a whole new level. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you in the next session.